In this video, I will go over the things I wish I knew when I started publishing 6 years ago. My name is Peter. Some of you may recognize me. Most of you probably won't. I've been publishing, like I said, for about 6 years. And during those years, I've learned what works and what doesn't work. I still have a lot to learn, but I will share what I wish I knew in this video. And if you want to hear more about my story, you can look at a link in the description. I will link of an interview of me. It was about 2 years ago, and since then I think I've developed a lot more and learned a lot more. So the purpose of this video is to inspire you. A lot of videos like this inspired me when I first got started, and it's also to get your mindset right, and hopefully you learn one or two things that you can apply to your publishing business. My selfish reason for creating this video is that hopefully I will attract some driven people who are chasing excellence, and who knows, someday in the future we might meet, we might have a mastermind or whatever. So that's my selfish reason for making this video. I'm not looking to be a self-publishing guru, not looking to make money from this. I'm not interested in that. I might create more videos, but those will probably be related to business in general or ideas that have helped me. So I recommend you subscribe, and if you have a message you want to shoot, recommend you message me on Instagram. You can follow me there, have a sneak peek into my daily life as well, and yeah, let's go from there. So the first thing I want to go over is the importance of research. So when I started, I published 2 books, and both of those books, the first one did $500 a month, the second one did $200 a month. So they were like, wow, that was success in my opinion. But then the books after that, there was maybe 5, 6, 7 books, they didn't do well at all. They were barely making $20 a month, and some of them probably didn't make anything. And the mistake I did was, for the first 2 books I did very good research, but for the books after that, let's say, as an example, let's take productivity. They were in a keyword such as productivity, which is a popular keyword, but there's too much competition. And if you don't have if you're not an authority, you don't have an audience, then going into a keyword like that is not something I recommend. So when you're doing your research, you want to look at keywords that have low competition, ideally, and of course that have many sales. There are a lot of videos on this, no reason for me to expand on it, but just make sure that you know that research is very important. The second concept I want to go over is from the book Great by Choice, and it's the concept of firing bullets first and then firing cannonballs. And in regards to publishing, I would see this as, let's say, a cannonball. Let's say I were to fire a cannonball first, which is not what you want to do. Let's say I were to publish a 100,000 word book on productivity. Like I mentioned, I have no authority, no audience, but I decide I'm going to create the best productivity book out there. And I'm going to put a lot of effort into marketing. I'll market it on Facebook. And this is something that's common. This is something that I've probably done, and something that a lot of publishers do. So don't think that this is something that should be overlooked. This is a mistake that a lot of people have done. And what happens? The book doesn't sell. People get discouraged. They think that this is not for me. I failed. And instead, what they should have done is they should have fired bullets first, which is, maybe I do a 10,000 word book on productivity, and maybe I only put my marketing on Amazon ads, and maybe a little bit of marketing on Facebook, contacting people, but I don't spend $3,000 on Facebook ads. And then I do the same for 2 other books on other topics. And this is where the shotgun approach comes in. A lot of people are criticizing the shotgun approach, and I think it has its place, especially in the beginning when you're starting out. You want to test, you want to fire bullets, you want to see what's working, what's not working. And let's say you do one on RVs and you do another one on keto diet, and 2 of them fails, but the keto diet one succeeds. And you start to you maybe improve the book, you add words to the book, or you create a new book and you start to build a brand and you go from there, and all of a sudden you're making a lot of money. But that wouldn't have happened if you would have not tested, if you wouldn't have fired bullets first. Another concept, we are on the third point, is the importance of consistency. And you may have read the compound effect, and when you hear compounding, you might be thinking about investing in money, but this is not just related to money. It's related to relationships, it's related to habits. And I think one example in publishing is the relationships you have with editors, with writers, with designers, with your VAs. Then if you're, let's say you're writing a book, or you're having a writer write the book, and then after that you don't give him or her any new projects for 2 months, then what are you doing? You're losing momentum. When you contact that writer in 2 months, he might be working on another project, so you might have to find another writer, and then you have to, when you're doing this for the people who are working for you, you have to retrain them. You're losing momentum. Instead, what you should do is you should nourish the relationship. If you find a good talent, that is. If you are not finding good talents, then fire bullets, hire a lot of people, and then you choose the ones that are good for you. So in the beginning, you don't want to be investing a lot of time into one person if that's not the talent. So there's a dichotomy. Okay, this goes for everything. This goes for habits. If you want to create the habit of running, then according to the Atomic Habits book, you run for 5 minutes and then you stop, because 5 minutes you can do, but then let's say you do that for 21 days. One day you might feel like running 10 minutes, 20 minutes, and then you have a great habit built up eventually. The fourth thing I want to go over is ferociously consume information. From 2015, late 2015 to 2018, I probably watched 95% of all the publishing videos out there. I watched them in 2x speed, so if you can do that, I recommend you do that for this video as well, so you can consume a lot of material. And there are a lot of great resources out there on publishing. You have Sean, you have Tommy, you have Jacob, etc., etc. So the resources are out there. I would consume everything, and from a lot of different people. They don't have to, even if you're making, let's say, $20,000 a month, I would still consume information from people who are making less than you, because you never know what information they found, what ideas they have that might be applicable to your business. So but also I want you to be cautious, because you need to be able to distinguish what's good information, what's bad information. You want to distinguish what information is applicable to you right now and what's not applicable to you right now. So focus on the 80-20 rule, which states that 20% of the results will come from or 80% of the results will come from 20% of the actions. So in this case, with publishing, it would be the book cover, the content of the book, the research, the title, the description, etc. And something that may not be in the 20%, maybe opening a Pinterest account and marketing on Twitter. Maybe that's not something you should be doing right now. Instead, focus on what's important. And another side note, back in 2016, me and my fiance at the time, we created a video of how we made $5,000 a month within 6 months. And we started helping publishers creating other videos, such as how to do research. And we did one video on how to do research using the bestsellers list. And one day after that, Big Luca, who some of you may be familiar with, he created a video about how you should not do research in the bestsellers list, and that's not how you should approach it, and that people who are saying that, they don't know what they're talking about. And I remember thinking that this is a prime example of how you do not just want to take someone's advice as dogma, because when some of the best keywords that I found or some of the best-selling books have been found through the bestsellers list. So you want to be careful with the information that you don't want to take anything as dogma, but you do want to consume it, and you do want to analyze it and always think for yourself. Okay, so another concept is read great by choice. It's a great book, and I think it's applicable to publishing. I've already gone over the Fire Bullets Then Cannonballs. The other one is the 20-Mile March and the Fanatic Discipline. So that's also in regards to consistency, that instead of publishing 10 books in 2 months and then stopping for 6 months, you want to take those 10 books and you want to spread them out. Publish them one book a month, or 1 book a week, or 1 book every 2 months, whatever you can manage, but you stay consistent. You do that 20-mile march. You do not just start and stop. So that's a great concept. The other concept is productive paranoia, and that means that you want to be thinking about what Amazon wants. Amazon wants what's best for the customer. They want the best customer experience, and what can you do? You can make sure that you provide the best possible reader experience. And an example of not doing this and not being paranoid was back in the days. There were this loophole with the Kemp reads that you could do. You could inflate the books with a lot of pages, and you would get paid more by putting a link in the front of the book or something like that. And that's an example of not being productively paranoid, not staying vigilant, not looking at the potential risks. The other concept is level 5 ambition, and what that means is, let's say you're publishing kids books, and you can see, I just want to make money from these books, that's my purpose. I don't really care how it's perceived. I know that some parents will buy the books and maybe their kids will like it, maybe they won't, but yeah, that's it, that's what I'm doing. Or you can say that I'm creating something that will be remembered by future generations. I remember I read this book when I was a kid. It was about the sun and the wind, and they were competing with who could take the jacket off the kid. And the wind, or the cloud, I think it was the clouds. The cloud, he tried with wind, he tried with harshness, and it didn't work. The kid would just hold his jacket even tighter, and it didn't work. But the sun, he came with warmth and kindness, and eventually the kid, he got so hot that he had to take off the jacket. And I remember that book, and it has made an impact in the way I view things. And that's an example of how you can have a bigger vision. You can create something that has an impact on the world. And when you have something that's bigger, then it will also be easier for you to retain talent, because people won't just be working for money, they will be working for a cause. Another concept is to focus on the long term. And I'm cautious to include this if you're making $1,000 a month. Maybe you want to skip this part, but how can you build a brand? How can you think in 5 years? How can you build something that will be here in 5 years? The reason I don't think you should focus on this when you're making less than 1,000 a month is because at that point you want to focus on learning, you want to focus on testing, and you want to learn from your own mistakes, from your own successes, from other mistakes, other people's mistakes, from other people's successes. And you don't want to focus too much, I think, in narrowing down on something specific, because there might be another great thing that you should be doing instead. And that goes back to the fire bullets first and then cannonballs. But have a bigger vision. There's talk about making money beyond Amazon. I think that's possible. There are people proving that it's possible. And when you're doing that, you don't have to rely on Amazon's algorithm, and everything's better. Okay, the last concept I want to go over is stay focused. When after we'd been publishing for 6 months, I stopped. I don't know what happened. We met some roadblocks, and did 2 other businesses before that and had success in it, one of them at least. But this making money online, that was much easier. So I figured, hey, if publishing is this easy, then what about affiliate marketing? What about blogging? What about drop shipping? So what if I can make $5,000 a month from affiliate marketing, $5,000 a month from publishing? That would be $10,000 a month. That's not good thinking. You want to be thinking, how can you make $10,000 a month from publishing? You want to, yeah, the rich people, they have multiple streams of income, but they have multiple streams of income once they have built something big, or the multiple streams of income are often associated with what they're doing. So it might be another product or something else. Let's say you have a YouTube channel, then affiliate marketing would be an example of another income stream. Publishing a book would be another income stream. Making money from YouTube ads, but they're all related to one thing. So hopefully that makes sense. And I remember Earl Nightingale, listening to him after that, and he said something along the lines of, the worst thing is to see a man jump from opportunity to opportunity, never realizing that he stands in his own acres of diamonds. If you'd just been focused, if you just do what they're telling you, what Brian Tracy and all of those people are telling you, focus 5 years on something, become an expert on it, then you will get a lot further. That's it. That's what I have in this video. I hope you received some value from it. I know I would have received value, and hopefully you're inspired as well. And yeah, hopefully we get to connect one day, and have a great one.